Hello, Study Slope Plugged In kids. It's Miss Clarice here, and today I am going to ask you a few questions. Now, if you were in service this last week, you may have a head start, but if you haven't been to service, make sure you follow the links on the screen because our special friend, Miss Stephanie, has been putting in a link for Superbook for us so that if you're not able to join us on the Sunday mornings, you can still follow the link and watch Superbook with your family at home. So let's get into our questions, shall we? Now, this past week, we've been talking about someone very important in the Bible. Do you remember his name? Good job, Moses. We learned about Moses and him speaking with Pharaoh and freeing the Hebrew people from slavery. Now, the Hebrew people were very oppressed while they were in the land of Egypt. Do you know what that word means? Oppression? It's a very big word that would mean someone who was treated cruel and that they were suffering under the hand of someone else. Now, they had a lot of people that would tell them what to do, a lot of bosses that they called a taskmaster. Now, they are kind of like the slave owners, but they're more the helpers of the slave owners that would be with their whips and the sticks, and they would be forcing them to do all of these hard tasks to do that were not easy at all. Now, when God was telling Moses about seeing his people and the suffering that they were going through, he told Moses, I have heard their cries, and I have seen the cruelty of their taskmasters, and I understand their sorrow and their pain. So he called Moses through something spectacular. Do you remember from the video? Yes, a burning bush. And the bush didn't burn. It wasn't caught on fire, but there were flames surrounding it, and God was speaking to him through that burning bush. So that's why our super truth for the week was, God sees, hears, and understands me. God created the whole universe, and he loves each and every one of us very much. Now, Pastor Kathy shared something very special, that she said that 3 of the young students in our group prayed for her, and that after they prayed for her, that God touched her and God healed her. So no matter how old or young you are, boys and girls, you gotta remember that God always hears and answers your prayers when you pray with a faithful and a good heart and you're genuine with your prayers. So what kind of work do you think the people of Israel were doing in Egypt? Do you remember some of the tasks that the taskmasters had them do? Very hard work. They were digging, lifting heavy bricks that they were making. And then at one point, when Pharaoh got upset with them, he made them make bricks with very, very little supplies. It was straw, mud, and I think a few other things. But at one point, he took away one of the main ingredients and still wanted them to make the same amount of brick that they were making before. He made it nearly impossible for them, but God always saw them through. Do you think that God knew what was going on even before or after all of that stuff was happening? Yep, not a single thing gets past God's sight and God's knowledge of what's happening. But he had a purpose for their suffering. He had a reason that they had to go through all of that pain and sorrow. So, remember, let's say our super truth together. Let me hear you. God sees, hears, and understands me. The Israelites needed a lot of help, and quickly. They were forced to do back-breaking work every day because of their cruel taskmasters. And Pharaoh, he was the head honcho of all of them. It was because he was being so stubborn and he just didn't want to let anybody go that he kept making it more difficult for them. They desperately needed someone who could see their misery, hear their cries for help, and care about their suffering, and be powerful enough to save them. Who could they cry out to? Could it be a normal man or woman? I don't think so. What about a superhero? We always hear about superheroes everywhere we turn. There's the Marvel superheroes, the DC superheroes. There's superheroes left and right with all kinds of different powers. But even though they're exciting and fun, and it's fun to think about all the different superpowers that they may have, I gotta tell you a secret. I'm sorry, but they're not real. I'm sorry. I wish they were real too, I really do. But there is one major superhero that is real, and that's God. That's why God uses the humble and not the proud. There's some people that are cocky and arrogant and just so full of themselves that if God were to ever work a miracle through them, there would be the chance that they would get even more proud and say, yep, I did this. I was the one that did this. And if they have a humble heart and know that they're not the ones that are in control of the situation, that any power, any strength comes from God, and they give the glory to God, that's who God's going to use to do mighty things, because they're always going to remember and point back to who the true superhero of the story is, and that's God. So God chose Moses to rescue them for a couple reasons. One, he was a lowly shepherd at this point. He had run away, he had to start from scratch, and he was a shepherd. No one really looked to shepherds for heroic feats. Yeah, they would save their sheep, but other than that, people didn't think too highly of them. And another thing that you may not know, boys and girls, was he had a stutter. He couldn't speak very well. But God was asking him to go and speak to the most powerful man of Egypt, so he was scared, he was nervous. But God didn't send him alone. He sent him with his brother Aaron. And together, with God's help and Aaron to support him and give him encouragement, he knew that he could get the job done. God uses ordinary people to work in and through to accomplish his extraordinary will. So, boys and girls, if you're not able to join us this week in service, remember, there will be a link in the video so that you can watch the Superbook show at home as well with your family. And you can get to participate with the lesson as well. So I hope you had fun with this recap of Moses, and we'll see you soon. Bye, boys and girls.
Hi, boys and girls. I'm here just to show you that Moses wasn't the only person that could part the Red Sea. Are you ready? Well, I could do it too. Part the Red Sea. Anyhow, there was 10 plagues, just like there was 10 commandments. And, wait a minute, who's this?
Will you let my people go?
No. The first plague was blood. Blood got into the water, and the fish died, and all the minerals and nutrients to do the harvest killed the water, basically. Okay, number 2. There was another plague.
Will you let my people go now?
No. It was the frogs. They were all over the place. Thousands of them, millions of them. There was another plague.
Will you let my people go now?
No. There was these gnats. They flew all over the place, and they went all over everywhere, and they just irritated people, okay? Number 4, there was another plague.
Will you let my people go now?
No. The other plague was, number 4, was the flies. zzz, and just, they had to swat them. But they didn't have fly swatters back then. And there was trillions of those things. There was another plague.
Will you let my people go now?
No. There was a plague called for the livestock. Their cows would die, and their lambs and their sheep and their goats and all that stuff, they just died because they were, not like poison, but something like anthrax. But anyhow, there was another plague, and it was.
Will you let my people go now?
No. The other plague was boils. Little red dots went all over their body, and it got itched, and it kind of burned, and nobody was immune to it other than the Israel people, the Hebrew people. So Pharaoh got upset. And so there was another plague.
Will you let my people go now?
No. This other plague was locusts. They get all the fields and killed all the plants and ate everything. They were really hungry little insects. They were pretty big, like this one. And then there was another plague. Oh.
Will you let my people go now?
No. It was a plague of darkness. It got dark. And they got scared. It went all day. It was like a lunar eclipse, but darker. Then there was another plague.
Will you let my people go now?
No. This plague was like the babies that died. But there was another plague that I missed, which was hail. Okay?
Will you let my people go now?
Yes, I will.
Yes!
Get them out.
Hi boys and girls, Mr. Tim here from Plugged In Kids. Today's verse is from Exodus chapter 3, verse 7. It says, I have surely seen the oppression of my people who are in Egypt, and have heard their cry because of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. Fun fact, scholars aren't sure if Moses was named by his mother or by Pharaoh's daughter. She is ambiguous in Exodus 2:10. So they aren't sure if his name is Hebrew or Egyptian. In any case, no one else in the Bible has this name. By the way, I can turn a staff, like Moses, turn a staff into a snake. You want to see? One, two, three.
Yay!
I have a song. It's a very touching song. It's for my people. Lord, please let my people go. Let them go. Let them go. Now I go celebrate with my people. Please tell me if you guys love that music.
You got it.
I will trust you 'cause I know you're gonna come through every step of the way, no matter what I face. I'm gonna say, I will trust you. I will trust you 'cause I know you're gonna come through every step of the way, no matter what I face. I'm gonna say, I will trust you. Sometimes it's hard to see what's coming next. I will trust you. But whatever it is, I know you'll see me through. I will trust you. I can't do this journey